Hi, I'm making this video about the point of self-care, self-nourishment, and how do you really know if you really care about yourself for real? What does that feel like? Um, this point has come up for me in relation to the point of feeling hurt, feeling betrayed, um, feeling like someone else is not considering me as much as they could or should. And in general, that point of feeling hurt by another, whether it be friend, family member, relationship partner, just someone close. And I noticed that over my life, this had been a theme. Um, I was never prevented from fully jumping into any kind of relationship, whether it be romantic or friendship or family, just diving right in and being as unconditional as I'm capable of, and basically seeing where it goes and what happens. And oftentimes I found that I would end up being hurt. And I would go into like this kind of spiteful point of feeling like I now want to withdraw completely from the relationship and thinking to myself, if this keeps happening, I'm just going to stop with entering into personal relationships with other people because I just keep getting hurt. And I have been working on bringing this point back to myself, looking at what is this point showing me, because the fact that it's a pattern just shows me that I'm repeatedly doing something that is actually getting in the way of me having effective relationships with other people. And what I saw when I looked into the point and brought it back to myself was that I was looking for other people to give me that experience of being cared about and cared for, taken care of, feeling important, feeling special. Um, just feeling that worthiness, that validation gave me confidence when I would experience myself as these things. But what I found was that I was always looking for that experience from other people. And, what does that mean commonsensically is that I'm not giving it to myself. I'm not living it within myself. I've separated myself from that point and sought it through others. And this means that what do I hold then inside myself? And that is unworthiness, unimportance, lack of self-consideration, uncared for. And so that's all fine and good, and I have this information. And I realize that this point actually goes back a really long way, to early childhood. Because I was looking at, well, what does it mean to be important to yourself, to care about yourself? What does that even feel like? What does that look like? And I had written it out and scripted out ways in which I could, in my daily life and my actions, live the word self-care and self-nourishment. And what I found was that it doesn't have to be too complicated. It's a point of, you know, daily maintenance of self and environment, and testing and trying different things, ways to nourish myself, whether it be with food, with exercise, with personal maintenance and hygiene, with writing, with giving myself time to rest and time to enjoy things and to work, and to do it from a starting point of I'm doing this for me because I'm important, I care about myself, I'm worthy of the time and effort that it takes to put into doing this type of stuff. And actually, what I saw was, when I fulfill these roles for myself, actually, nobody can hurt me. And there's a certain point of um, knowing what you will and will not accept and allow in your personal relationships. But at the same time, it clears up so much, or it clears up so much for me to fulfill these roles for myself and to not seek them from others, because what I had found was in seeking them from others, it was actually changing who I was. Once the relationship became, to a certain category of closeness, I would change, because now all of a sudden this person in my life has taken on a role that I've, placed as superior to myself, and that I now fear losing, because if this person, you know, does something that I perceive as a lack of consideration or care, all of a sudden what comes up is that pain inside of me, that knowing that I'm not actually doing this for myself. I actually believe that I'm unworthy and unimportant and undeserving of care. And this creates internal and then outflows to the external environment of lack of nourishment, is what I noticed, where it's not a great environment for growth. It's a stagnation and a slow descent into kind of chaotic uh, state, where it's like your emotional and feeling points aren't being dealt with, defined, and directed. And for me, some of the signs in my environment has been my room becoming messy, not keeping up with, you know, putting things away, cleaning, just keeping things neat, which to me is very supportive when I have an orderly and structured environment, that, when I walk into my room, it's just clean and everything's where it should be. And, if I'm going to go sit down to do some work, all my work stuff is there, that it's comfortable, it's just set up for me to walk into and work comfortably or relax comfortably or, enjoy time in my room. And so these little signs in my environment are like red flags for, like, okay, the self-care is not there. You're not living this. So that means that I am living lack of self-care and a lack of consideration and regard, and living unimportance. And these words that we can choose to live are really a direct communication with ourselves of who and how we'll accept and allow ourselves to be. It's a communication with our bodies in terms of, how am I taking care of my body? And then everything else in terms of, the environment and internal, self-investigation, diet and exercise, just everything is an extension of the relationship we have with ourselves. And this self-relationship can be very toxic. And if our self-relationship is toxic, then it means that we're going to bring that into every relationship we enter into. So, I'm going to be working on this point of feeling so vulnerable and open and susceptible to being hurt by others. I realize that I'm like a more sensitive person, in that I feel it strongly. And for so long, I had convinced myself that other people were doing it to me. But I have realized over time, I mean, first, it's been years as knowledge and information, that I knew the workings of this point. But I needed to go through some experiences to really see the importance of living these words and the unnecessary consequences that result from not living them, in terms of, being able to have these awesome and amazing relationships, interpersonal relationships with others, compared to just constantly feeling hurt and constantly feeling needy and in fear of not getting, this thing that I desperately need. I need it from myself, not from others. That is nobody's responsibility but my own. And I'm actually excited, and I get this like sensation come over me when I speak the word self-nourishment and self-care, like that myself and my body, my being are just desperate for me to start living these things, and knowing that when I do, how fulfilling and satisfying, and just how it can enhance the enjoyment and the quality of interaction with others if and when, I will say when, because I've already started living this. All right, so that covers all the dimensions of the point that I can think of right now that are coming up. So thanks for listening, and I will see you later. Bye.